You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, much in the same way that it looked like Deshaun Watson was running away with the Browns quarterback job, and then all of a sudden, in the last 7 or 8 days, Shedeur Sanders rushed up on Deshaun Watson in the quarterback competition to the extent that Todd Monken was no longer able to name a starter, which he wanted to do before the end of camp. He no longer can do that. He was like, we got to go to training camp and let these guys keep competing to see who can win the job. Some believe it'll be into like maybe the second week of training camp now. Well, we all remember the interview, the awkward J.J. McCarthy interview. Yeah, it's like a couple guys in class, in school, blah, blah. And this was after Kyler Murray gave a very professional quarterback kind of interview about the competition between Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy. Everybody thought that was a wrap. The quote that came out was, J.J. McCarthy could significantly improve and he still won't catch Kyler Murray. Except maybe he has. This is wild that this is coming out. Now, let me say this, and I want you to keep this in mind. There's also a world, and look, beat reporters, I keep telling you guys this, national reporters and beat reporters will also carry water for the teams, right? And one of the jugs of water they could be carrying here is, let's make J.J. McCarthy sound fantastic so somebody will give us a trade offer for him. That is always possible. Okay, somebody that maybe they got a similar offense, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, bleep it, we'll take a shot on J.J. McCarthy. But if this is accurate, Kyler Murray's got to be pissed right now. And there is word that he's not, I heard this on PFT, that Kyler Murray is not very happy because he's trying to learn a new offense and he's only getting half the reps. Whereas he had 2 times with Arizona where he had to learn new offenses and he was getting all the reps to learn it. He's not getting all those reps now. He's in an actual dogfight with J.J. McCarthy. And I got to tell you, if Kyler Murray can't beat out J.J. McCarthy, he might be cooked. I mean, that's wild. So, check this out. Alec Lewis of The Athletic, and this was back on June 4th. All right, quote, Kevin O'Connell knows the degree of difficulty of throws in his scheme. He knows whether or not it matters that McCarthy stretches away from the other 3 quarterbacks before practices like Thursday, or that he jogged off the field Thursday before the other 3 who stayed behind together. Everyone panicked. McCarthy ran off the field first. Lewis had to go on X and provide context. Quote, does sound like J.J. McCarthy had golf plans this weekend with a bunch of teammates and practice went long. Hence the quick exit. Context critical always. Okay. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero corroborated the Tea Time report during Friday's chat with Rich Eisen. Quote, JJ's done everything right other than one of the 10 quotes in his press conference a couple of weeks ago. He's done everything right this offseason. From everything I've been told in terms of attitude, his approach and how he's maximizing his reps. Quote, there's some story that took off locally about how JJ left the practice briskly after OTAs last week. Ran off the field. It was because practice ran long. He had a tea time with his offensive lineman. That's kind of interesting. And I don't care about the tea time thing. I don't care about him going off. If he already had his reps in and he left, his offensive lineman. JJ's got some allies on this team, actually. I think we're finding that out. So, 1 week ago, Alex Lewis was talking about how Kyler Murray was leagues better than J.J. McCarthy. Now he is saying they are even. To make up so much ground so quickly means JJ dramatically outpaced Kyler Murray in OTAs. Keep in mind that these 7-on-7s are the best it gets for Kyler. It only gets worse when the pads come on and the linemen enter the picture. Starting to believe McCarthy starts week 1. That is wild. That is wild. Now, The Athletic, Alex Lewis, the quarterback competition. O'Connell said Thursday afternoon the competition between Murray and McCarthy will continue. This shouldn't come as a surprise. Over the 5 practices to open to media members in recent weeks, neither player performed drastically better than the other. They split reps evenly. Both took snaps with the starting receivers and faced the expected starting defense. Each completed some impressive passes and missed some available receivers. Murray's arm talent surfaced early, and McCarthy's experience in the offense showed itself throughout 7-on-7s. Thursday featured 2 Murray interceptions. Wednesday consisted mostly of red zone work with few notable reps. Thursday's practice saw the most 7-on-7 snaps, and Murray and McCarthy looked like they were feeling out Brian Flores' defense. Boy, they got to practice against a hell of a defense. O'Connell spoke positively about each player's growth, even in some of the results seem uneven. He called it a true competition. Training camp's open. I want to see these guys in very, very unique and difficult circumstances elevate their games to help the Minnesota Vikings. None of the Vikings players hinted at a favorite either. Superstar receiver Justin Jefferson noted McCarthy's growth as a passer. Quote, everything doesn't have to be 100 miles an hour. Some throws, you could put a little touch on it and get it to the spot, and I feel like that's one of his most impactful improvements. If J.J. McCarthy has learned how to throw with better layers and better touch, look out. Look out. He may be the starting quarterback there. Quote, the offense is difficult, talking about Murray's struggles, Jefferson said, especially going against our defense, seeing the different coverages, the roles, the schemes. It's really going to help him out when the season comes, if he's the starting quarterback. That's wild. That this thing went from being what looked like Kyler Murray's job to looking like there's a real chance J.J. McCarthy's winning this job back. And then what happens to Kyler Murray? You know, I believe he's on a league minimum deal because Arizona is, so he's getting like $1.3 million. The old Russell Wilson, Denver, Pittsburgh Steelers deal, where the Broncos released Russell Wilson. The Broncos still had to pay the contract. Then he goes to the Steelers for $1.3 million. I think that's the contract that Kyler's got, is the $1.3 million salary. Well, Carson Wentz is already the backup there. Or he's the third quarterback. I mean, one could say, yeah, Kyler's a better backup if he chooses. Or would the Vikings actually trade him? I don't think they would, and I'm going to tell you why. In case, even if Kyler wins the job, in case he was to regress and crash and burn, then they got another guy that can come in and start games immediately right off the bat. Never mind injuries. But that is wild that J.J. McCarthy has put himself back in a position to actually win this job. Boy, that is a hell of an indictment on Kyler Murray. If he ends up not being able to beat out J.J. McCarthy, woo! That's wild. Tell me what you think. Make sure you hit subscribe. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.